Hey Rebels, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how I use fundamental analysis to make over $100,000 in one trade. Typically in this channel, I go over technical analysis. That's kind of my forte. That's what I rely most heavily on. However, I have had some requests recently to go a little bit deeper into the fundamentals. So if that sounds good, like and subscribe, and we're just going to dive right into how this trade went. The other thing I want to mention is I do have a $1,000 giveaway that I'd like to give away $1,000 to the community during this trading campaign for anybody that I see actively engaging in the community. I'd like to get the engagement up and I'd like to get my Telegram group out there. So anybody who can basically come in and give some constructive criticism, leave some comments, share and like the videos, and just basically engage actively in the community. I'd like to give away $1,000 and I'd like to keep that going. I'd like to kind of continue to reward the community for participation and helping me grow because I'd like to get my content out there. And so I think that will be kind of just a fun thing to do. So anyway, let's just dive in here again. This particular trade is on Hyperliquid. You may have heard of it recently. There's a lot of hype about decentralized exchanges recently. And I was able to snatch an entry around $12 here for Hyperliquid. And I will just go into some of the fundamentals that helped me do that. So I actually heard about this decentralized exchange through a mentor of mine, uh, well, quite a while ago. Let's actually, I don't even know. Let's see. It was right around in here. It could have been April of this year. And if we just go to the charts here on Hyperliquid, they have a stats page. So you can kind of scroll through and see what their actual stats, their active users, the volumes, the total liquidations that they have. And that's typically how exchanges make their money. One of the ways, besides their fees, that they make money is the liquidations. So they have a stats page, and you can just see that the total volumes on this DEX are just absolutely astronomical. And in fact, there are times where they outperform some of the larger exchanges like Coinbase and Binance and things like that. So the volume is very, very impressive and the rate of growth for that volume was very impressive at the time. So you can see, you can just go scroll down and take a look at some of the stats here and the fundamentals there for this exchange. And one of the things that I had noticed was the massive amounts of inflows earlier on. And you can just see that it's just basically been going straight up. The inflows on this DEX have just been absolutely crazy. The other thing that I was noticing, this probably won't load, but the slippage continued to get better and better because they were more and more liquid. So the slippage was getting better and better, just basically meaning that they're just even more desirable over time. And then also we had new users. So obviously this kind of fluctuates quite a bit, but you can see the cumulative new users has just been going pretty much up and to the right. Very, very strong. So that's what I like to look at in a project. If I'm not going to rely solely on the technicals, I like to just actually go into and see how much volume there is and just keep it simple. That's one of the things that I can say. Don't try to overanalyze these kinds of things. It's just, are there actual users? Is it a growing network? And based on all of these metrics, you can see that that is true. Liquidations going up and to the right very strongly. So they're making money. The other thing that this project does is they do buyback. So a lot of the money, instead of all that money going to Coinbase and going to Coinbase corporate, they have mechanisms that they will use a certain amount of their profits to buy back their token, which creates a kind of a constant buy pressure, which is very exciting for investors as well. Knowing that there's going to be a constant bid on this thing is attractive. So that's one of the reasons, one of the many reasons why it's been able to attract a lot of users. The other thing I like to use is DeFi Llama. This is one of the other sites that I like to use for my fundamental analysis and basically just look and see how much value is actually on chain. And we can see that Hyperliquid up and to the right. And yes, of course, it doesn't go up in a straight line. And then the other thing you can do is scroll down here and look at the different projects on Hyperliquid and look at the fees and such and the revenue from the different protocols on Hyperliquid itself. But Hyperliquid DEX is kind of the main thing on the Hyperliquid chain, and that's what's getting all of the attention. The other thing is that I actually went and used the Hyperliquid exchange. I really enjoyed the user experience on it. I like it a lot. When I use cross leverage, I really enjoyed that I was able to use some of the profits from my positions to keep adding to positions or open new positions, something that I wasn't really able to do in other exchanges. So as your profits increase on a cross margin account, you're actually able to use those profits to continue trading. Now, that obviously comes with a lot of risks. And I think one of the reasons they do that is probably because the more you use your profits to trade, higher likelihood that that could go against you eventually. So anyway, Yeah, so that's basically it for the fundamentals. I mean, it sounds a little cheesy. It sounds too good to be true. That's pretty much it. I just looked like, oh wow, this exchange is actually doing something. The numbers are impressive. The number of users is increasing at an impressive rate, and as well as them being able to actually outperformed some of the majors at times. So that was really impressive. So then I basically relied on the technicals to get me in and out of the trade. So why did I get in the trade? Well, there were a few reasons. There were indications at the time that we had bottomed in the broader market around this time. And if I just use some of the technicals quickly, just on a very basic level, we had pretty much broken the downtrend and we're starting to come up in a stronger fashion. And basically, a break of this swing right here was an indication to me that this might be a good risk reward. Risk to the downside, relatively minimal. As you can see, I talk about that quite often. And then, a lot of reward to the upside potentially. One of the reasons I got out of this trade, and I actually only sold 50% of my position right now, and I will go and show you that in the Telegram group if I can. One of the reasons I got out of this trade when I did, at least 50%, was this weekly candle right here. We saw a massive wick to the upside, and then we tried to do it again, and we closed pretty weak. So I basically, oh, I better drop that down here. I basically sold at the close, basically getting me out at $50. So from $12 to $50, doing pretty good. You can also see that during this week, we have massive wick to the upside. So, but the reason I got out of this trade again was just because there was kind of weakness on this weekly candle, and I said, you know what, I've had a good trade here. I want to take 50% out. It covers my cost basis, more than double my cost basis, and then I can leave 50% in the trade for any potential further upside. So that's basically it as far as the fundamentals go. Like I said, I know it sounds kind of cheesy. It sounds kind of too good to be true. But really, I think that in general, when you're investing, keeping it simple is probably better. Trying to think that you're going to go out there and outsmart the market by knowing something that the market doesn't know, it's highly unlikely. A lot of people will fade the data that's right in front of them. Something as simple as over time, the value is accruing on this chain. Over time, revenue is building on this DEX. And also knowing that they buy back some of their token kind of helps give you, if that feels good to you, it's probably going to feel good to other investors, right? So, I mean, it's not like you would want to solely trade based on that, but using this holistically with the technicals is definitely helpful. So, yeah, I think that's probably going to wrap it up on this video. It was a very successful trade for me. Let me see. Let's go over to my Telegram group quickly so that I can show you the actual results from that. This is also the Telegram group. I post a lot of different alpha here, and this is where you will see more of the fundamental side of things. I have more macro investing kind of fundamentals that are keeping me on the right side of the trades, and I also have the trade results and my active trades that I'm in. So different entries that I have, why I'm entering, and where I'm seeing good risk to reward. All of my successes and failures are on here. That's really what I wanted to do on this channel. Is like I want people to understand what trading really is, because a lot of people, nobody's really showing you their failures. They're just trying to cherry pick their wins. For me, this is a cherry pick win for me. It was a really big win. I've sold half of my position, and if I go in here to the trading results and scroll up, I will be able to show you where I posted that. Maybe. Of course, here we go. So this right here is my real account. I have a trading account right now that has about $10,000 in a perps account that I'm using to trade with, but this right here is my main portfolio. And right here, as you can see, cashed out of $102,000 here. It's now sitting in Tether. I have this on a site called cryptonomy.com, which I can go into in other videos if you're interested. They have high interest paying accounts where you can lock up your assets and get a high yield. It is much more risky. I don't necessarily advise everybody do that, but I've been using this for several years and I enjoy the platform, and it has given me you can see right here, my interest rate that I'm receiving on this USDT is 83%. Again, high risk, high reward. But yes, anyway, this is me cashing out $100,000 of that position, and I still have 50% left. in that trade, right? So anyway, all of this is available on my Telegram. This is one of the reasons, another reason why I'm doing this video is because I want to showcase my Telegram. It's pretty quiet right now, but anybody is welcome to hop in and shoot me a text or just have a chat with me, and we can talk about your crypto journey, things that you're doing. If you have things that you want to share with the community, just help us grow. I know there's a million channels, a million communities out there, but I'd like to start one of my own because I think that I have a lot of good insights, and I've been doing this for a long time. I've been in crypto for over 4 years, and just grinding it through this bull market, just like everyone else. It's basically just been glued to the charts this whole cycle. So I think I have a lot of valuable insights on how to trade and maybe what your portfolio might look like depending on your particular situation. So yeah, that's kind of what I like to do. That's one of the things that I really like to do is help other people who are new to crypto understand some of the ways in which they can navigate the space and make money. So anyway, it's going to do it for this video. Like and subscribe. If you made it this far, thank you very much. Please leave a comment down below. I'm also looking for more ideas for videos. This one is a shout out to one of my viewers who was hoping to do a little bit more on the fundamentals. This is one of the ways that I use fundamentals. I just like to look at the volumes and see if they're actually growing. And if they are, it's just kind of like an extra little layer to your thesis that you can feel good about this trade, because I knew that at the very least it was quality. I wasn't trading garbage, right? Just like Bitcoin, you can feel confident in trading Bitcoin because the fundamentals are there. Is it actually being used? Who's actually behind this thing? What are some of the things? Something that I actually never even got into in this video is the team itself and some of the things that they did on launch that were better than a lot of the other protocols. And some of the ways in which these things launch are pretty shady and pretty value extractive. Hyperliquid is not one of those. They actually had a pretty fair launch, and they did a lot of really good things for the community, which is how they were also able to build this network as they did. So anyway, do your own deep dives into things like this. I do implore anybody do some research on the things that they are trading. But like I said, in this channel, for the most part, I use technical analysis. That's why I got out when I did. I was able to get out here, and I was able to basically not suffer this entire drawdown so far with at least half of that position. I'm out of half of that position, and so now I'm basically just letting the rest ride for the rest of the cycle. So yeah, anyway, thanks again, guys. Comments are much appreciated, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.